everybody, and welcome to MelTheBombshell. Today's video is going to be another game review. This game review is going to be all about Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I'm going to start out with a bit of background information about Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was released on June 11th, 2021 by the developer Insomniac Games. As you can tell by the title of the game, it is part of the Ratchet and Clank series and is actually the 11th game in this series. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is a PlayStation 5 exclusive title, so it can only be bought and played through the PlayStation 5 system. Now on to some general gameplay of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. This game is a third-person shooter and platformer. In the game, you travel through different dimensions and find yourself traversing diverse planets as you take on the main antagonist, the evil Emperor Nefarious. This game has a great story, with a focus on friendship and forgiveness, which gives this game a very positive and uplifting thematic element as you go through the story. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart features some really fun and unique combat. You get to choose your weapon as you fight your way through the story. There are plenty of different guns to choose from, all with their own special abilities, as well as a melee weapon that you get to use throughout the story mode. This creates for some very diverse and fun fights to experience throughout Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. In the game, not only will you fight unique enemy types, but you will also find yourself in a multitude of different boss battles. I find the boss battles to be very challenging, but super fun playthrough. Each boss comes with its own abilities that'll give you a different challenge throughout the different points in the game. This diversity in enemies and bosses makes the combat super diverse and really engaging for the player. As you play through and defeat enemies, you will upgrade your character where you get more health and also be able to upgrade your weapons. This allows you to get an upper hand in battle to help you take on and defeat enemies. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart gameplay also has collection elements, which I find to be super fun. I'm someone who enjoys collection, so I like to fill up all the meters and find all of the objects that are hidden throughout the map. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart includes different objects for you to collect on your journey. There are golden bolts for you to find, spy bots, and armor pieces hidden throughout each world for you to go through and explore and find these pieces. The game tracks your collection so you can see which areas you've explored and what objects are missing on each map, so you know where you need to head to and what you need to find. Along with the main quest, there are side quests and challenges that add some variety to the game and make the game more fun to play overall. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart also includes different difficulty levels that make the game very approachable for all levels of players. So if you're a very experienced player, you can choose a harder difficulty that'll make sure that you are getting the most and enjoying the game. However, if you're someone that wants an easier experience, you can choose a easier difficulty that allows you to play through the story and experience the game completely without struggling and getting aggravated. You can also change the difficulty level at any point in the game, so if you find the gameplay to be too challenging or too easy, you can adjust that to make sure that you are having the most fun as possible as you play. Now I want to talk a little bit about the characters in the game. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart has a variety of really fun characters and enemies that you'll get to meet during the game. You get to play as both Rivet and Ratchet as you go through the story missions and travel between planets. There's plenty of customization for you in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. You get to choose the armor pieces as well as the color of the armor pieces that your character is wearing. Different armor pieces and sets may come with added bonuses that give you something extra in gameplay. You can also customize the style of your melee weapon, the hammer, and the color of the melee weapon as well. In addition to that, you get to change the styling of the coins or currency that you get from defeating different enemies and destroying objects. As you progress through the game and play through the story, you'll collect armor pieces that add more customization to your character. In addition to Ratchet and Rivet in the game, there are 2 robots that are paired with the 2 Lombaxes. The 2 robots are the original Clank and a new robot named Kit, and these 2 robots accompany and help Ratchet and Rivet on their journey. Your abilities and weapons and upgrades transfer from character to character, so no matter if you're playing Rivet or you're playing as Ratchet, you will have the same upgrades and weapons available to you. In the game, there are cutscenes that are flashbacks and give you information and insight to the new characters' backstories and previous experiences. This way you get to know the characters you're playing as and seeing a little bit more. Not only do you get to play as Ratchet and Rivet in the game, but you also get to play as Glitch and Clank, where you'll solve different types of puzzles to help you unlock new areas and progress through the story. So now on to the different environments that you'll find yourself exploring in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. The game includes much free roam and has a semi-open world experience as you travel. You get to choose the planets you go to when you go to them and get to make your way and choose your path around each of the areas. Each planet you travel to will present its own challenges. Different areas typically have different enemy types and usually introduce a new platforming mechanic. Some areas might have magnetic strips that you jump and transfer onto, or they may have these stones that you hit and change the area from one dimension to the other. Each different planet that you'll travel to has its own scenery that makes it unique. I enjoy this new scenery as I travel through different planets and progress through the game. It just adds variety and makes the overall game more enjoyable. There are plenty things to collect throughout each unique area of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. As you go to new planets, you'll get the opportunity to find new armor pieces, more gold bolts, and more spy bots to help add to your collection. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart also features special areas for the characters Glitch and Clank. So when you're playing as Clank, you're in this otherworldly puzzle solving area. Or when you're playing as Glitch, you're in this computer circuit board themed area where you defeat viruses. I would also like to mention that Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, I feel, does a good job at rewarding players for exploration and makes exploration enjoyable. Now, I want to talk about the graphics and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart's use of the PlayStation 5 features. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is an absolutely stunning game. The developers and designers did a wonderful job at using color, contrast, and the graphical processing abilities of the PlayStation 5 to create a game that is completely amazing looking. You will definitely need a good TV or monitor to enjoy playing this game fully. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart does offer options for graphics in the menu. These options allow you to trade looks of the game for more frames per second during gameplay. Personally, I chose to have better looks and less frames per second, but I will say that I did not notice the drop in frames per second while I played, nor did this option or choice affect my gameplay. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart also uses every bit of the DualSense's unique capabilities. From the get-go, you notice the haptic feedback on the controllers as you aim and shoot your weapons. You feel like as you shoot the gun more and the gun kind of warms up, the controller and triggers become easier to press down. The haptic feedback features of the DualSense controller are also used. As you go to different areas or find yourself in different combat scenarios, the intensity and timing of the vibration in the controller create this completely immersive experience. There are also sound effects that'll come from the controller during the game that just give a little bit more to that gameplay. Between the graphics and stimulation of your senses through the controller, you'll find yourself in this completely immersive experience that you're completely glued to and cannot stop playing. Another key feature of Ratchet and Clank gameplay that I want to point out is its replayability. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is easily replayable and actually encourages replaying the game. After you complete the main storyline, you are offered the chance to go back through and collect all the objects you may have missed out on your first run through, or you're invited to complete this new challenge mode that is unlocked. I really enjoyed being able to go back through the different areas and collect all the objects that I missed out on in the first place. Post completion of the main story, I've put multiple hours into just going back and exploring all of the areas and finding all of the armor pieces to complete all of the suits, finding all of the golden bolts, and finding all of the spy bots so I can completely fill my collection. Now to my overall opinion and rating of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. To me, Ratchet and Clank is a complete 10 out of 10. Not only is this game really fun and enjoyable, but it's really beautiful. There's nothing better than when a game is both fun to play and good to look at. So that's why Ratchet and Clank overall has a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. One thing I also enjoyed about Ratchet and Clank was that the completionist in me came out. Sometimes I'll just play through games to experience the story, but with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, I was really motivated to go back and collect everything and get that 100% level on the game. I think Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is a must-have for any PlayStation 5 owner. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Please leave a like on this video and subscribe to see more videos from me in the future. If you would like to see more of my game reviews, please click on the playlist at the end of this video. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!